Is Shastri class. So we are doing chapter 3. Yesterday we completed to some slokas. First we will recite sloka. कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेता यश्श्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तयापहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधो न विधीयते प्रकृतेः क्रियमाणानि गुणः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकालिनेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नयति मामेति सो अर्जुन तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षयन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्य अन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ततमो मतः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Any point from yesterday? Yes. What we discussed yesterday? Some points. Yes, devotees, can you speak some points? Yes,
Hare
Mata.
Krishna.
Ah,
By nature, all of us are active. It's a nature of soul to be always active.
correct. Okay. Yes.
Hare
Some,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes.
Prabhuji, yesterday we mostly focused on the one point, there are some instructions from the Vedic instructions, and the Guru Guru will give some formula, that is, we are Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, we have formulated the means like the Guru Parampara has formulated some like a 16 round chanting Sarvanam Kirtanam. That process is formulated for us, that that only that point is very important.
So it is different from the Vedic one. It's not exactly the Vedic. It's a causeless mercy coming in
But
parampara. So Acharya, they make tailor-made instructions, tailor-made process, and then they give to disciples to follow. And because it's a bhakti marg, and Krishna does not reveal to anyone unless that person has been blessed by pure devotee. If a pure devotee blesses a person, then Krishna becomes obliged. Like Krishna says to his devotees that whatever path you will choose, I will follow. Means if Acharya chooses some path, then Krishna also has to give mercy. He cannot deny. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, one has to do its own prescribed duties. Without doing the prescribed duties, we cannot be purified. Soul is always engaged in some activity, and to purify the soul, it is necessary to engage in the prescribed duties which are enjoined in the Shastras. You also talked about the difference between Buddhi Yoga and the Karma Yoga. The Buddhi Yoga is actually a Nishkam Karma Yoga or the devotional service, and Karma Yoga means we are doing our duties according to our prescribed duties and then offering the results to Krishna.
Okay, according to Varnashrama, no issue. According to Varnashrama, we have prescribed duties and we are doing that duties to please the Lord. अतः पुंमृदुज श्रेष्ठ वर्णाश्रम विभागसः सानुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम. Sukadeva Goswami says, Sut Goswami says that why Varna and ashram has been divided in human society, why there are 4 ashram and 4 varnas, that people should perform their duty perfectly, ultimately to please Hari. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. So, if you want to please Hari through Varnashram, that is called indirect devotional service. It's a not direct devotional service. But when you take up Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, this is a direct devotional service. Adha. The word comes Adha. 7th canto. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam, Iti Pumsarprito Vishnu, Bhaktischenava Lakshana, Create Bhagavat Adha. Tanmanne Dhit. Create Bhagavati Adha means it creates, it's a direct devotional service. Adha means direct. One example is given, like somebody is having a murmura in his hand and he is planning to eat that murmura, and somehow the wind blows and then his murmura just flies away from the hand, and then he says, I am offering to Govinda. While it is flying away, he is saying, I am offering to Govinda. So this is not pure devotional service. Means just because it is going away from your hand, and then you're saying, I am offering to Govinda. So okay, because Govinda has said that you should offer, do sacrifice, so I am in Varnashram, I am offering to Govinda. It is my obligation. So out of obligation, if somebody offers to Govinda, that is not pure devotion. But if through pure love somebody offers, yes, if somebody offers through pure love and he does not have any desire to enjoy the result of his activities, he simply wants to serve Krishna, then that is pure devotional service. Okay. So yes, in our sadhana bhakti, though we are also doing through some obligation, but that obligation has been given by Guru, like chanting 16 rounds. So sadhana bhakti is also considered in pure devotional service. So we are practicing pure devotional service, we are practitioner, we have not become perfect. So if you follow the order of a spiritual master as it is, so then it is pure devotional service in sadhana stage. Later, when we go to bhav bhakti, so there are 3 stages: sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, prem bhakti. So when we go to bhav and prema, so there attraction of Lord is the impetus to follow devotional service. In sadhana bhakti, impetus is the instruction of Guru and injunctions of Shastra. Take injunction from Shastra and instruction of Guru, that becomes impetus for following devotional path. But when you come to Bhav Bhakti, or basically Raganuga Bhakti, from Raganuga only it starts, then that time the impetus will be attraction towards the Lord, spontaneous attraction, अपने आप attraction होता है. So then that time, surely we are not away or we are not disregarding Guru, but the impetus is coming from the Lord also, directly, and Guru has blessed. Like he blessed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, what kind of mantra you have given to me, it is making me mad. And then he said, you keep on chanting, my dear son, you have attained the love of Godhead. So he said, you whatever the way you are getting attracted, get attracted. Just chant the holy name. So that time attraction is from the Lord directly. Right now we have to purify ourselves. Okay. So this section is going. This section is discussing about the different yagyas. Means not different yagyas, basically yagyas. Different yagya will come in fourth chapter. So yagyas, why one has to do yagya? Yes, anyone? Why one should do yagya? If you do not do yagya, what will be called? What we will be called if you do not do yagya? And why we should do yagya? Yes, anyone?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, but if we don't do yagya, we'll incur the sin of performing activities and enjoying results.
Okay. ठीक है. We will incur the sin because we are enjoying the God's property. ठीक है. So that is why we should do the yagya. Then what will be called? The word. Huh?
Thief.
Thief. What is the word for thief? Istena. Istena eva saha. Istena means thief. उसको thief ही बोलेंगे. Istena eva saha. Okay. Next question. After taking something from demigods or God, what should be the aim of all the people of this world? How they should utilize the commodity of God, and what should be their aim? Yes, Ashish Prabhu.
To please the Lord Vishnu.
Okay, to please the Lord Vishnu. Okay, what else? Can you elaborate it more? How they should utilize
So whenever we get anything from demigods, we should serve Lord Vishnu and use it as a yagya to please the demigods as well as the Supreme Lord Vishnu.
Ultimately, we have to become surrender to Lord Krishna or Vishnu, but we have to utilize the necessity of the whatever necessity we are getting in our life properly to maintain and body and soul together, not to do extravagance, not to do sense gratification, but utilize that for the service of the Lord to maintain body and soul together, and then whatever is there, use it in service of the Lord, and ultimately we will perfect our life. So like this. So means you have to use it bare minimum. The Bhagavatam says that जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थ यश्चेह कर्म भी. So what is the shloka? कामस्य नेन्द्र प्रीति लाभो जीवत यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थ यश्चेह कर्म भी. So kamas nendra priti means whatever sense gratification we are getting, we should just use it to maintain body and soul together, not for labh, not for too much gain. No. Jivasya tattva jigyasa, because human life is meant only for tattva jigyasa. It's not for sense gratification. So like that. So even if you are getting the necessities, utilize it bare minimum, try to fulfill your bare minimum necessities, and we can also keep some emergency for our future safety. Okay? But again, it's not leading to sense gratification. Okay. So this is another thing. Okay, who is recommended to worship demigod or do demigods worship or yagya? Who is recommended? Yes, Mataji.
Those who don't know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, they may worship demigods.
Yes, very right. So those who are not aware of this knowledge that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead and all the devas are simply the bodily parts of Krishna. Narayana Deva Angaja. Narayana Deva Angaja means, so Narayana Deva, sorry, ulta ho gaya. Deva Narayana Angaja. Means the devas are simply the bodily parts of Narayan. So like that. So if you water the root of the tree, then all the leaves and twigs will also get watered. So by serving Narayan, all the demigods become satisfied. So these are Panch Mahayagya. Yesterday we discussed Panch Mahayagya. So if somebody does Panch Mahayagya, like we have debts to pay to our forefathers, to demigods, to rishis, to humans, and to other living entities. So if you perform the yagya, then these debts are cleared. Okay. So this shloka we did, I think, yesterday. So yagya sishta sino santo muchyante sarva kilvisa bhunyante te agam papa pachante yat karana atma karana. So this is a sloka for which is telling us to eat only prasadam. Yagya sishta sino santo. So the whole understanding here is whatever we utilize, either it is necessity of life or our extravagance or anything we get in this world, that should be yagya sishta, means it should be authorized by God, it should be enjoyed by God, then we can take it. So when we offer food to Krishna, we take the prasad. If we wear some cloth, we can offer to Krishna. Krishna, this is given by you. Please have it. Please bless it. And then we can wear. If you have like people bring new vehicle, they bring to temple, then they offer to Lord and then they use it. So basically yagya sishta, it should be sacrificial remnants. Whatever we have, it should be sacrificial remnants and then we can use it. Therefore, in previous time, the kings used to, when they used to call some saintly people, so they used to get up and then they used to say, please Swami, please sit on the Singhasan. Or they used to give some other place also. And they used to say that this whole kingdom belongs to you. And then the Swami will say, no, I need not to do anything. You are such a responsible king. Please rule, keep ruling your kingdom. And then keep people happy and make them follow religious principles. I'm happy with that. So you find in the Ramayana, when Dasarath Maharaj got 4 sons, Ram, Lakshman and Bharat, Shatrugna. So that time he became so happy that he gave away all his treasury. Whatever wealth was there, he gave away to all Brahmanas. And he said, this all belongs to you. So it means he just emptied everything. And this Brahmana, seeing his such a generous nature, they took mentally and they said, Raja, we do not need anything. What we will do with all this thing? You just take it back. So Vasishtha Muni and others, they took it and then gave it back. So then it becomes yagya sishta. When the Brahmanas, the Lord says that I take from the mouth of Brahmanas, or the Brahmanas who are the preachers of absolute truth, the knowledge of absolute truth. So then when they take, they offer to the Lord and then they give back to the king. So then this becomes the yagya sishta. So that's why many times earlier the Raja Rishi kings, they used to always think that this kingdom is mine, it's not my property, it's God's property, it's a Brahmana's properties. And with this uchishta understanding, they used to, this is a uchishta, this is a remnants enjoyed by the saintly people, enjoyed by the Lord, and so I am trying to serve. Like this they used to think. So this is a nice culture actually. Yagya sishtasina santo. Muchyante sarva kilvisa. So how we get free from all the kilvish? By offering it to the Lord, by making it sacrificial remnants. So then bhunjate tetogham papa ye pachante atma karana. So yesterday I was saying, I think yes, why we are not getting strength in our body, in our mind, everything is decreasing because no yagya is performed. So we are getting bhindi, lady finger for eating, we are getting potatoes for eating, we are getting tomatoes for eating, but there is no nutrients inside. They are not giving us power, not giving us strength. Why? Because not performing yagya. So demigods, they have taken away the strength. So only we have external, nice, glistening tomatoes, or very nice pulpy tomatoes, but there is nothing inside because no yagya. So if no yagya, then our nutrients will decrease, our strength will decrease, our memory will decrease more than a regular way. Regular way already is Kali Yuga, is decreasing, but more faster than that it will decrease if you don't perform yagya. The Prabhupada says that later there will be no rice, no sugar. So that later means long later, but now it is coming. अभी सब कुछ महंगा हो रहा है because yagya नहीं हो रहा है. Okay. So yagya has to be performed. So I mentioned yesterday how to be done. Okay. Sankirtan yagya. So therefore such a devotee always perform yagyas in different modes of devotional service, such as Savanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, all these performance of yagyas keep them always aloof from all kinds of contamination of sinful association in the material world. Just see what Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is first saying that the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness are called santas, and they are always in love with the Lord. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. Okay. Then he says, such a devotee always perform yagya in different modes of devotional service. Navida bhakti. So Saranam Kirtanam Vishnu. So these are all yagyas. Others who prepare food for self or sense gratification are not only thieves but also the eater of all kinds of sin. So they are eating sin. How can a person be happy if he is both thief and sinful? It is not possible. Therefore, in order for the people to become happy in all respect, they must be taught to perform easy process of Sankirtan Yagya. So, see, it's mentioned, Bhunjate te to agham papa. So, what they are eating? Bhunjate, agham papa. Grievous sin. So, anybody who is cooking without offering to the Lord, they are eating grievous sin. But if they are offering to the Lord, then they are free from the sin. So Prabhupada said that we don't want to become vegetarian. Neither we want to become non-vegetarian. We want to become Krishnatarian. Krishnatarian means offer to Krishna. So even non-veg or veg, both are sinful because they are not offered to the Lord. This is one thing. Second thing, all the activities of devotional service are called yagya because everything is done for the pleasure of the Lord. Here it's mentioned. So people should be taught that they should offer to the Lord. If not all the times, at least some time of a day they should offer to the Lord. Begin with that, and then slowly they will start offering. And we should teach them how to chant the holy name. At the same time, now somebody can ask, if we are not sinful because we are eating food offered to Lord, then why we are getting disease? So it is also said, if we chant the holy name nicely, properly, try to chant offenselessly also, so then even disease will not touch the person. What to speak of other things, means like even ghost cannot affect a person. Disease cannot affect a person like that. So it means the sincerity in our process of devotional service can take care of all our karma. So this is one of the things that eating prasadam offer to the Lord. It also like in Udupi, if you go, so how they offer the bhoga to the Lord. They one time we went to Udupi. So there is a sequence at particular time offering will go to the Lord, and then in between you will not get any food for eating. They will clear up all kitchen, cleaning, all kitchen will be clean. Then next cooking will happen. बीच में कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. So there the brahmanas, they cook personally and they offer to the Lord directly to the deities. In our ISKCON temple, some offering goes to deity, that is the Raj Bhog, or other bhogas which happens in the deity kitchen, that is offered to the Lord. And for devotees we have devotee kitchen. So sometimes some Ramanujarya Sampradaya people, acharyas, they have certain problem. What is this ISKCON? You are not offering to Lord directly, you are offering to the lamination of the Lord or some deities of the Lord. You are not offering to directly to the Lord. So they, because our is preaching mission, our is not like fully centered around temple and deities, because our main motive is to spread Sankirtan. So because devotees are engaged in Sankirtan movement, they are chanting, they are hearing, they are spreading the holy name, spreading the teachings. So then the life of devotee itself becomes yagya actually. And then Lord is pleased with that. See, those who are intelligent in this age, they will worship the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu. By Sankirtan movement, they will worship. So wherever there is chanting of holy name going on, Lord will surely accept that. offering, because that is the way Kali Yuga dharma is there. But sometimes it is misunderstood, because sometimes in other sampradayas ritualistically going on, directly offering to the Lord. So it's not that we are not offering, but now all the time we have to wait. Now some devotees are hungry. Some team comes, of Sankirtan team comes. Means in kitchen we can cook anytime, we can offer anytime, and we can feed devotees anytime. But when it comes to deities, there is a lot of rules and regulations. You cannot wake up deity at any time. You cannot feed deity at any time. So therefore, then there will be disturbances, because devotee's life, when it comes to Sankirtan means there is a lot of dynamics, too much dynamism. Nobody knows where the devotee is going, किधर जा रहा है, किधर प्रचार कर रहा है, क्या कर रहा है, क्या नहीं कर रहा है, इधर घूम रहा है, उधर घूम रहा है. So therefore his life is dynamic. So therefore Lord also is a dynamic. He is a dancing God. Who is a dancing God? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, dancing God. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be taken anywhere. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and they are themselves God of this age. So then they are themselves moving and dancing and spreading the holy name. So they have to accept the offering given by the devotees who is engaged in their mission actually. So in this way, this offering is taken by the Lord, because it's a Sankirtan mission. It's moving Sankirtan party, moving. Okay. Panchana. So now, who will read? Okay, Mataji, you can read. अन्नाद् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभव यज्ञाद् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भव.
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yajna, and yajna is born of prescribed duties. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
1 minute. So this okay, that will come at last. So these are the 4 things mentioned. One thing is annad bhavanti bhutani. All the living entities, they live on anna. Anna means food grains. In South India, anna means rice. Anna also, uncle is also anna. Anna means food grains. Okay. So annad bhavanti bhutani. All the living entities, they live on grains. Parjanyad anna sambhava. And the grains, they are produced from rains. Yagnat bhavati parjanyo. How the rain comes? Rain comes by doing yagya. And how the yagya happens? Yagya karma samudbhava. By performing one's activity for the pleasure of the Lord, that is called yagya. So prescribed duty if somebody performs for the pleasure of the Lord, that is called yagya. And that yagya will bring prajanya. That prajanya will bring anna. And that anna will be eaten by bhutani. And then by eating that anna, he will get energy. And by that energy he will do karma. That karma will become yagya. That yagya will bring rains. Then anna will come. Then anna he will eat. Again he will get energy. Again he will do karma. Like this. This whole process is like this. So the karma and dharma both are connected here. Dharma means to satisfy the Lord. That is called yagya. So when karma is done for the pleasure of Lord, that is dharma actually. So through dharma, living entity becomes happy. Through sacrifice, living entity becomes happy. Because he gets his food grains. So there is one example given. For everything is like that. We get everything from God by doing our duties properly for the pleasure of God. Then we get that thing back. Like a child, when he satisfies his parents are happy, and then they fulfill his desire, like that. So we are dependent upon gods for our survival, for our happy life. So Baldev Vidyabhushan, he says that Ye Indradi, okay, we'll leave it. The Supreme Lord who is known as the Yagya Purusha, or the personal beneficiary of all the sacrifices, the master of all the demigods who serve him as the different limbs of the body serve the whole. Yeah, so he is the supreme he's the supreme beneficiary, the Lord. See, here it's mentioned, when the Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigod who are different limbs of the Lord are also automatically worshipped. Therefore, there is no separate need of worshipping the demigods. For this reason, the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness offer food to Krishna and then eat, a process which nourishes the body spiritually. By such action, not only are the past sinful reactions in the body are vanquished, but the body becomes immunized to all contamination of material nature. When there is an epidemic disease, an antiseptic vaccine protects a person from the attack of such an epidemic. Similarly, food offered to Lord Vishnu and then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material affection. And one who is accustomed to this practice is called a devotee of the Lord. See, he is also defining who is a devotee of the Lord. Who is eating prasad, he is called devotee. So prasad has two benefits mentioned. One thing, it nourishes the body spiritually. One thing. Second thing, by such action, not only past sinful actions are vanquished, but also it immunizes the body. It's working like a vanquishing all the past reactions. It's working like a vaccine to protect the future reactions, like that. So बोलते हैं ना कभी बोलते there is some ad, somebody is eating Jhandu Chamampras, and then when he eats, then there is aura around his body is created, and somebody is sneezing or coughing, then the germs come out from his mouth or nose, and the germs cannot enter the body of the person who has eaten Jhandu Chamampras, because it's an aura, it's protecting. In the similar way, devotees can immunize their body, their mind from outside world by eating prasadam. So much significance is mentioned, because ahead it is going to come, or yesterday we read ahar suddho sattu suddho dhruva smriti smriti labhe vipra moksha granthim, like that. Vipra granthim moksha, as the shloka is there. So by eating prasadam, one's existence is purified, then one gets dhruva smriti, long lasting memory, and through that memory one can practice for going back to Godhead. So therefore, Krishna conscious person who eats only food offered to Krishna can counteract all the reactions of past material infections which are impediment to the progress of spiritual self-realization. So this is very, very important. Therefore, for any advancing devotee who comes new to bhakti, we always recommend him to eat prasadam. Chant holy name, eat prasadam. Why? Because here Prabhupada clearly mentions all reactions of past material infections which are impediment to the progress of self-realization can be washed away by eating prasadam. So this is the thing. Because what is the prasadam? Prasadam is having saliva of Krishna. And that saliva, that touch of Krishna will purify our infection, previous infection and future infections. It will protect us from all. So therefore, if somebody is not eating prasadam, it means he cannot be devotee. He has to follow this process. कई लोग बोलते हैं प्रभु जी 20 साल से प्रसाद ही खा रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. अरे कुछ नहीं हो रहा, भक्त बने वही बहुत बड़ी बात है. If you are a devotee till now, that is also good thing. How many people can resist themselves from bada pav, which is sold in the train or nearby some state? Bada pav, ye pav, chai, and so many lucrative items. So Prabhupada at many places say, if somebody vows, I will only eat Krishna Prasad, so then that devotee really becomes very dear to Krishna. And Krishna, sometimes he has to fast also because he is not getting food, so he will fast also. So but Krishna becomes very happy by seeing such determination of his devotees, that my devotee is not ready to eat unless he is able to get some prasadam. And there are again qualities of prasadam. If somebody, so we know that the item which is cooked by a person, his consciousness enters into the food. That consciousness is also, that also enters into the consciousness of the eater of the food, one who eats the food. Same consciousness goes. So if we eat in the restaurant where people are cooking for money, so we will also become money conscious in our life. There are many instances where great sannyasis, when they have eaten food and they immediately came to know this food is not offered to Krishna. By tasting only they come to know, because they have got sixth sense, or you can say realized knowledge by eating prasadam every day, so they can immediately understand this is not offered to Krishna. And there are other devotees, when they eat the food and when they understand my mind is becoming polluted, it means the person who has cooked, he is not in right mindset, and so that mindset is disturbing me also. So in a Brahmana's family previously, they used to cook themselves. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never took food at any house other than Brahmana. But he also took house from some Brahmana's house who were lesser in the caste, and because Madhven Puri had eaten food there, so therefore just to set an example, because Madhven Puri is himself Acharya, if he can eat, then why not we? So to set an example that we are simply follower of the Madhven Puri, so he ate at the Sanodya Brahman house also there. Though Sanodya Brahmans are considered as Brahmanas lower in caste, means they are not very superior Brahmanas. So the earlier this custom was very strict, where one can eat food, very very strict. Nobody can eat anywhere and anytime or from anyone's hand. No, it was all very much restricted. Kidhar khana hai. If somebody also sannyasi, if they have to eat food also at any other place, then they simply beg from the person the raw material and then they cook themselves and eat. It's like that. The custom is like that. Therefore, you find in the Leela of this Hi, this Leela comes in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when that Gopal worshipper, when he comes to the home of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nimai was very small, so then he was given raw material, even in a Brahmana house also. He was a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Jagdish Mishra, Jagdish Pandit Mishra. So now he is Jagannath Mishra. So Jagannath Mishra, he is giving raw materials to this Brahmana that you cook food, and then he was cooking, and again Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nima, he was tasting before it is offered. He was himself Krishna. So that Brahmana could not come to know. For 2-3 times it happened actually. So there also you find the Brahmana was given raw material for cooking, because this is a custom. They don't eat from the hands of anyone else. At the same time, sometimes the renunciates, they keep some servants, and these servants are the fixed members. They will only cook for their Gurudev or for Acharya or for Guru, whatever. They will not allow anyone else to cook. So these are some strict rules and regulations followed by many people, and it does affect our consciousness. We have to understand. That's why in regular home, household people also better, or it's better only that to eat at home, because home people are at least they are having congenial environment, they are having some love and affection for each other, other than eating outside, because outside people you cannot predict only what consciousness they have, but that consciousness enters in our mind, and then we also start behaving in that way. We don't allow children to eat outside because children are they are new to this world, and if they get habit of eating all the time outside, so then tomorrow also they will never aspire to eat at home. So therefore their habit should be made in such a way they only eat at home, not outside. Not even ISKCON Govindas, try to make it at home only, because this is culture. Okay, sometimes okay, but not all the times. The culture should not be dismantled. Yes, one should perform the yajna because it causes a cyclic movement in the universe from food. So this we read or not? So yeah. So Prabhupada says for everything depends on food. Even animals, non-veg people also, they also eat animals, and animals also they subsist on grasses, herb or plants, what they eat. Yes, so they also need the crops to maintain themselves, and then human can eat that animal. So even non-vegetarian people also depend upon ultimately the crops, the grasses which are coming because of rain, and rains are given by demigods, like that. So he mentions one should perform yajna because it causes a cyclic movement in the universe. From food, living entities exist. Food is the cause of the bodies of the entities, and from food arises the health of the bodies of the living entities. With the transformation into semen and blood, the cause of the food is rain. By the rain, food is produced. The cause of rain is yajna. By people performing yajna, the clouds produce sufficient rain. The cause of yajna is karma, prescribed action. The yajna is produced from the action of the priest and the patron. Just see, these all things are mentioned. So what we study in our science book, how the rain comes? Rain comes because of lot many trees. When you grow many trees, then there will be good amount of rain. So we read this atheistic knowledge. From where they have brought this knowledge, we don't know. So they are saying that sun is there, and then sun will make the cloud by evaporating water from the ocean, and then when the clouds are formed, wherever there are many trees, lot of rains will happen. So therefore we should grow many trees. This is the conclusion of science, modern science, where Bhagavad Gita says how the rains happen? By yajna. Just see, atheistic science and theistic science, what is the difference? So if you learn this kind of science, then nobody will perform yajna. So they are teaching water cycle, how the rains, the most important function or the cyclic movement for human beings to live happily is mentioned here, and they are taking it so cheaply. Our scientific books, what they are teaching? By water cycle rains are happening, by evaporation clouds are made, by condensation rains are followed, means rain showers down. So trees, they make clouds thanda, they make it more cooler, and so the rains will, condensation happens, and so the rains will fall. So that can be some okay, but unless Indra, the god of cloud, he does not allow the cloud to condense and then the rains to form, how can the trees have independence to do such things? These foolish people don't understand. अगर ऐसा ही होता तो हर जगह पेड़ लगा दो, फिर कहीं भी बारिश हो जाएगा. So they don't understand what is the whole cyclic moment, what is the yajna, what is our duty. They are simply teaching some mechanism. That's why in science we are only learning mechanism without knowing the person behind who is running the mechanism and why he is running. So that is why our science is atheistic science. Howsoever we may glorify, but that is atheistic science only. कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षर समुद्भवं तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्.
Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, all pervading transcendence is eternally situated in act of sacrifice.
So where are these activities given? The prescribed activities because of which the yajna is happening, they are given in Vedas. So now everything is connected. So regulated activities are prescribed in Vedas, and Vedas are directly coming from Narayan. And consequently, the all pervading transcendence is eternally situated in the act of sacrifice. It means Krishna has only given all this sacrifice work in Vedas. And when you are taking those work from Vedas and you are following it, basically you are following Krishna. So therefore you are satisfying Krishna. So now this sloka is adding Vedas and Supreme Personality of Godhead, both. So this is a karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. So कर्म कहाँ से आ रहा है? वेदा से आ रहा है. You should know, Arjuna, that karma is coming from Veda. Brahma aksharam samudbhavam, and the Brahma akshara, the from akshara means the Supreme Brahman, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now the Brahma means the Brahma, this Veda is coming from Supreme Lord. Akshara, why Akshara is called? Because he cannot be explained by A or Ksha. A or Ksha, all the letters which you use between A and Ksha, you cannot explain the Supreme Personality of Godhead by these letters. So therefore he is called Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja. So Aksha. So same thing. Akshar is also used here for the Supreme Lord. Anksha. So no words or no letters which are formed in from Anksha can explain the Supreme Lord. Therefore it is called Akshara. So the Vedas are coming from, Brahma is coming from Akshara Samudbhavam. Okay. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. And therefore all pervading transcendence eternally lies in doing sacrifice. So basically, you will achieve the mercy of the Lord, or you will get transcendental realization by doing sacrifice. This means this thing. Yes, Mataji, you can read this.
Yadnartha karma, or the necessity of work for the satisfaction of Krishna only, is more expressly stated in this verse. If we have to work for the satisfaction of the Yajna Purusha, Vishnu, then we must find out the direction of work in Brahma or the transcendental Vedas. The Vedas are therefore codes of working directions. Anything performed without the direction of the Vedas is called vikarma, or unauthorized or sinful work. Therefore, one should always take direction from the Vedas to be saved from the reaction of work. As one has to work in ordinary life by the direction of the state, one similarly has to work under the direction of the supreme state of the Lord. Such directions in Vedas are directly manifested from breathing of Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is said, Asya Mahato Buddhasya Vishwatim
निस्वसितम एतद् यद् ऋग्वेदो यजुर्वेदः सामवेदो अथर्वांगिरा अंगिरसः. Yes.
The four Vedas, namely the Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, and Atharvaved, are all emanation of the breathing of great personality of Godhead. The Lord, being omnipotent, can speak by breathing air, for as it is confirmed in Brahma Samhita. The Lord has omnipotence to perform
Yes.
through each of his senses the action of all senses. In other words, the Lord can speak through his breathing, and he can impregnate by his eyes. In fact, it is said that he glances over material nature and thus father all living entities. After creating or impregnating the conditioned soul into the womb of material nature, he gave his direction in the Vedic wisdom as to how such conditioned soul can return home back to Godhead. We should always remember that the conditioned soul in material nature are all eager for material enjoyment. But the Vedic directions are so made that one can satisfy one's perverted desires, then return to Godhead, having finished his so called enjoyment. It is a chance for conditioned soul to attain liberation. Therefore, the conditioned souls must try to follow the process of yajna by becoming Krishna conscious. Even those who have not followed the Vedic injunctions may adopt the principles of Krishna consciousness, and that will take the place of performance of Vedic yajnas or karmas.
Okay. Now here at last Prabhupada says, even those who have not followed the Vedic injunctions may adopt the principle of Krishna consciousness. Same thing. If not followed, take to Krishna consciousness. And that Krishna consciousness will suffice for all your lack of Vedic principles, if you follow properly. So that is simple. So if you do not, because we do not do Vedic Yagya, we do not know also. So therefore we take to Krishna consciousness. So okay, this is one thing. So asya mahato bhutasya nisvasitim Etad yad Rigvedo Yajurveda Samaveda Atharva Angirasa. So the four Vedas, they are coming from breathing of the personality of Godhead. So this is a mantra mentioned. So this is a Brihad Aranyak Upanishad. It says like that. So Prabhupada mentions that Lord can emanate knowledge just by breathing. So his senses can interchange. So Brahma Samhita says that yes Indriya Sakalarindriya Vittimanti Paschanti Panti Chakalam Jaganti. So the Indriyas of the Lord, senses of the Lord, can do any other activity. Like I can walk only through my leg, but Lord can walk through his head also, or through his hand also. So there one thing, therefore the Shastra says कि he walks and he does not walk. Taddejati tannejati taddure tadavantike. So Lord can eat and cannot eat. Lord can walk and not walk. So it means this, he does not walk like us. He does not eat like us. But he eats and he walks also. So therefore he has senses, but his senses are very special senses. They can interchange the activities. But we cannot do that. That's why that is called omnipotence. So this example is given. So Lord can speak by breathing, or he can even produce anything by breathing, and he can impregnate just by watching, just by seeing. So he impregnated Mother Nature, and all the living entities are born. So like that he gives example. So the Lord has given the Vedas for what purpose? So that living entities, they are conditioned in this material nature, and anyway they are going to do karma because they are active, but they will do karma under the modes passion, ignorance, goodness, and those activities will become sinful if they are not authorized by Lord. So therefore Lord authorizes those activities. Okay, you are Brahmana, mode of in goodness, then do yajan yajan patan patan dan pratigraha. You do this activity. These activities are authorized for you. अभी ब्राह्मण रिक्शा चला रहा है मान लो, या ओला चला रहा है ब्राह्मण, तो ब्राह्मण अगर ओला चला रहा है तो क्या ऑथराइज्ड एक्टिविटी है? वो नहीं ऑथराइज्ड है. दैट इज नॉट फॉर ब्राह्मण, दैट इज विकर्मा. इट्स मेंशन एनीथिंग परफॉर्म विदाउट डायरेक्शन ऑफ वेदास इज कॉल्ड विकर्मा. इफ समबडी हैज बीन गिवन अ प्रिविलेज ऑफ बीइंग बोर्न इन ब्राह्मण फैमिली, बट वो रिक्शा चला रहा है या कुछ और कर रहा है, या तो आईटी में जॉब कर रहा है अभी जो भी बोलो वो सब विकर्म है. अगर कैलकुलेट किया तो विकर्म की लिस्ट इतनी लंबी हो जाएगी कि इसलिए कृष्णा कॉन्शियस बचा रहा है हमको. अदरवाइज द वेदास आर द गाइडिंग बुक फॉर अस. इफ यू आर नॉट रीडिंग द वेदास, नॉट नोइंग इट, नॉट फॉलोइंग इट, देन वेयर इज द rescue for us? We are sinful people, clearly mentioned here. So Vedas give you the work and you have to perform that work. That is obligatory. We must do. If you do not, then it's a sin, because the Vedas are coming from Narayan's body. It's a breathing of Narayan, and Narayan has said you have to do this. Then only that work will free you from this world, otherwise not. So this is a difference. So moderns, these people, foolish people, they are teaching their scientific books. What is, क्या लिखा है वेदों का उसमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा. कचड़ा है वो तो एक नंबर का. Unfortunately, because Vedas also are lost, so there is another excuse for everyone to say that no, Vedas are lost, what to read. But still, the corollary of the Vedas, or basically the real Vedas, you can say the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, they are still there. So even that can be taught. That has to be taught. Otherwise, people are doing sinful activity. People are not taking to Krishna consciousness, and people are not following the Vedic path also. So they are following sinful path. So everybody is nicely paving the path towards hell. And all the such aspiring souls will be awarded nice body in the hell, and they will be beaten nicely, and they will be given later body of a hog and dog and cat. Therefore, we should change the name of such institute, IITs, all these things. We should keep Indian Institute of Cats, Indian Institute of Dogs, Indian Institute of Pigs, or whatever, because we're making all such big people like that, because we are paving the future for them. If you're not, we are teaching technology. What is technology? teaching technology. So these are शिल्प ज्ञान you can teach later, but उसको पहले इंसान तो बनाना सिखाओ, पहले उसे धार्मिक तो बनाओ, उसे ये तो समझाओ यज्ञ क्या होता है. बड़ा बड़ा बुद्धि लेके क्या फ़ायदा. अमेरिका में जाके और गंदा सीख के आ रहे हो. ऑल इंटेलिजेंसिया इज गोइंग टू अमेरिका और सम अदर प्लेस एंड दे आर डूइंग समथिंग और मोर नॉनसेंस. So like that. So this is Vikarma, path of Vikarma. See, Bhagavad Gita is so clear cut, so nicely is teaching this knowledge. If this knowledge itself is learned by people, they will change. Acha. Just 1 minute. Okay, so now the Smriti mentions there. What is the mention? The offering of the fire goes to sun. From sun arises rain and food and bodies of the living entities. So how the offering goes? Offering of fire goes to sun, and then sun causes cloud to form, and then through cloud the rains happen, and then the food. So this is how when you offer the in yagya, in the yagya kund, the fire, you offer their offerings inside, so then that is taken to sun god. So this is mentioned in Smriti Shastra, Manu Smriti, it is mentioned. And here is Brihad Asya Mahato Bhutasya, same sloka, yeah. Okay. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati haya agha ayur indriyaramo mogham partha sajivati.
My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin, living only for the satisfaction of the senses. Such a person lives in vain.
So Krishna is declaring this thing. Anyone who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice established by the Vedas, they are living a life full of sin. Not big certificate is required, big things are required to know who is sinful. Are you living a life of sacrifice? Are you offering the food, anna, back to Agni, to gods, basically through Agni? Are you doing such sacrifices? If not, then forget. आजकल लोगों को क्या चाहिए? वास्तु यज्ञ कर लेते हैं घर के लिए, ठीक है, वास्तु यज्ञ हो गया, अभी नया घर बनाया, वास्तु हो गया है. और क्या, और कौन सा यज्ञ? ठीक है, पितृ का यज्ञ हो गया, ठीक है. और क्या? अंत्येष्टि, मरते समय अंत्येष्टि का यज्ञ हो गया, ठीक है, अंत्येष्टि भी हो गया. और क्या, कितने यज्ञ करते लोग? आर पीपल डूइंग दिस यज्ञ? पंच महायज्ञ which we just learned, that are they offering to demigods? No. Are they offering to the sages? No. Are they offering to then pitras? Some of them, not all. And then are they offering to other living entities and humans? So these yajnas are not done. So Krishna says, Evam pravartitam chakram. So this is established by the Veda. This chakram means it's cyclic. No? Lord is producing Vedas. Vedas are giving activities are performed, that is called yagya. Through yagya rains again, food grains are eaten by living entities, and then they also they worship the Lord, and the Lord gives the Vedas. So this whole can be cyclic, or previously also we discussed, by eating the grains again we do the karma yagya, and again the rains happen. So this is cyclic process. So our life is also dharmic. See, previously the livelihood was also through dharma, through sacrifice. So we are getting food grains by doing dharma, and so we are doing again yagya, again we are getting food grains. That's why Prabhupada said that our real economy should be on land and cow, because even if you want to live on land and cow, you have to perform dharma, then only land will provide for you. So that is a a dharmic way of living. But this now industrial development, there is no understanding only with the people that they have to perform yagya. They think that I am going to company, I am working, and at the end of month I should get my salary. This is only their conception. Nobody is worried about yagya. Everybody is simply worrying about working for software, working in industries, purpose big tire factories at that time. Now also, so many vehicles are there, so big machineries are made. So nobody is worrying about the yagya. This is a thing. And farmers, they are too much disconnected from the city. Nobody knows from where food is coming. किसी को पता नहीं. पहले क्या होता था, खाने के लिए आपको पास नहीं है तो you go to other farmer to take from him the grains and then you cook and eat. So you know that who has from where I have brought the grains, nearby some farmer. Now children or even big people also, they don't know from where the food grain is coming. अरे वहाँ मार्केट मंडी में आ जाता, जाके खरीद के लेके आओ, खा लो, बस एक ठेले पे आ रहा है वो खा लो. Nobody knows from which market, from which field, which agriculture, कहाँ से आ रहा है, किसी को कुछ पता नहीं है. People are not worried. So here it's mentioned, आघा अघा आयु मीन्स, अघा मीन्स पाप का जीवन व्यतीत कर रहा, उसकी आयु कैसी है, पाप वाली. अघ मीन्स पाप. इंद्रिया रामो, वाई, बिकॉज ही इज ट्राइंग टू एंजॉय हिज इंद्रिया, तो ही इज कॉल्ड इंद्रिया रामो. मोघम पार्थ स जीवति, मोघम मीन्स ही इज नॉट लिविंग हिज लाइफ फॉर राइट पर्पज, जस्ट वेस्टिंग हिज लाइफ, टाइम पास कर रहे हो. सो लाइक दैट. ओके, प्लीज रीड दिस.
The man of many philosophy of work very hard and enjoy sense gratification is condemned herein by the Lord. Therefore, for those who want to enjoy this material world, the above mentioned cycle of performing yajnas is absolutely necessary. One who does not follow such regulations is living a very risky life, being condemned more and more. By nature's law, this human form of life is specially meant for self-realization. In either of the three ways, namely Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. There is no necessity of rigidly following the performance of the prescribed yajna for the transcendentalists who are above very vice and virtue, but those who are engaged in sense gratification require purification by the above mentioned cycle of yajna performance. There are different kinds of activities. Those who are not Krishna conscious are certainly engaged in serious consciousness. Therefore, they need to execute pious work. The yajna system is planned in such a way that sensory conscious persons may satisfy their desires without becoming entangled in the reaction of sense gratification work. The prosperity of the world depend not on our own effort but on the background arrangement of the Supreme Lord, directly carried out by the demigod. Therefore, the yajnas are directly
Go ahead. Aim that.
aim at the particular demigods mentioned in Vedas. Indirectly, it is practice of Krishna consciousness, because when one masters the performance of yajnas, one is sure to become Krishna conscious. But if they performing yajnas or one does not become Krishna conscious, such principles are counted as only moral codes. One should not therefore limit his progress only to the point of moral codes, but should transcend them to attain Krishna consciousness.
Okay. So there are two, three things Prabhupada mentions. This is a Mammonist philosophy. What is that? Work hard and enjoy. Eat, drink, be merry. ये philosophy है ना? बाहर वालों का ही philosophy है. So for them, what is mentioned here? For basically they are agha ayur indriya ramo, mogha partam sa jivati. They are living their life in vain because they are indriya ramo. Their indriyas are not controlled. They are not jitendriya. They are indriya ramo. इंद्रियों में आराम ले रहे हैं, इंद्रियों के साथ एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, इंद्रिया रामो. So those who are इंद्रिया रामो, their life is अघ आयु. अघ आयु means पाप का जीवन, पाप का आयु. तो पाप के आयु जैसे कभी कभी होता है, वी डिवोटीज डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन लाइक गिविंग ब्लड, whom you are giving your blood donation camp. If our blood is going to इंद्रिया रामो person, then already his आयु is अघा, ऑलरेडी पाप का जीवन जी रहा है. उसको और खून देके क्या फायदा, और पाप करेगा. तो जो पाप करेगा वो हमारे अकाउंट में आ जाएगा. तो ऐसे लोगों को खून भी नहीं देना चाहिए. सो व्हाट शुड बी गिवन टू व्हाट पर्सन. नाउ समबडी इज सिटिंग अलोंग द रोड एंड आस्किंग, बाबा भिक्षा दे दो, एक दिन का खाना दे दो. अगर उसका हाथ पैर बराबर है, सो व्हाई द पर्सन शुड बी गिवन भिक्षा? इज ही अ सेंटली पर्सन? नो. So still people are giving him bhiksha. First he should be put to work. Nobody should eat without working. Very simple. Everybody should follow the path of dharma. The sannyasis, the brahmacharis, they are in ashrama. So they do not work because they are cultivating knowledge. They are cultivating detachment. So then they are allowed for bhiksha. Not for any Tom Dick Harry who is sitting outside and then asking for bhiksha. Then why government is allowing? This is not good. In the similar way, so this is the one side where people are becoming lazy and trying to get the food livelihood, which Krishna says pretender. And here is another class of people simply working hard and enjoying, no goal of life. So then he is mentioned that they have to take up to some path, karma yoga, jnana yoga, or bhakti yoga. Some way they have to get the realization, some way they have to connect themselves to process of yoga. Otherwise their life is useless. So those who are not in Krishna consciousness certainly engage in sensory consciousness. Therefore they need to execute pious work. The yagya system is planned in such a way that the sensory conscious person may satisfy their desires without becoming entangled in the reactions of sense gratificatory work. So yes, basically yagya is like again it's a concession, or you can say it's a rescue given for those people who wants to enjoy sense gratification life. Even though somebody wants to enjoy sense gratification, he should do yagya to protect himself, because then he can enjoy. Like somebody doing some demigod, he's pleasing some demigod and getting something, so then he's authorized. Even though he may use it for wrong purpose, okay, he's not connecting himself to ultimate purpose, that is okay, but at least he got it from the right person. So he has to learn the other things now, that he has to also make his purpose nice, not only getting the things. But Prabhupada says this the yagya system is such made that even sense gratificatory work also get purified. So this is very important. So yagya is important even for materialist people. What to speak of spiritualist? Even for materialist people it's important. And then the propensity of the world depends not on our own effort but on the background arrangement of the Supreme Lord directly carried out by the demigod. What do you mean by that? Yes, who can explain this? कौन बताएगा? The prosperity of world depends not on our own effort but on the background arrangement of the Supreme Lord. Yes, Mataji.
It is said that everything is planned by Supreme Personality of Godhead, and under his direction only all the demigods are working. So whatever happens, that happens for a cause according to the plan of Krishna and not as per our plan.
ठीक है, good. Now I want some practical answers here. Practical, more understanding. Good, that is good. Yes, Anish Prabhu.
Guruji, like today we are trying to exploit the nature of all the resources and everything, and we are trying to build a civilization. But actually, prosperous civilization is where the demigods are satisfying and they are providing us with all the necessities to live.
Okay, you also went little more explaining what she explained. अभी और अच्छा आंसर चाहिए. और कौन बताएगा? Yes, Mahadev Prabhu. Yes, Mahadev Keshav Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, the prosperity means in terms of the living food, means whatever we are eating the food, the quality of the foods. It's like that. In the time of the Krishna and that in the Dwarpa Yuga, they used to play the Holi by using the like loni, what we can call butter.
Hmm.
But now we are playing the Holi by using the guitar.
Hmm.
Like the things, and actual this is happens. It's a total arrangement in Lord Prakriti Kriyamana. Means all the Prakritis means by the will of the Lord. And this actual the diamonds, jewels, all this means prosper lives at that time they used to leave the kings. And that depends upon only because in Shastra also said that when the Yudhishthira Maharaj ruling the kingdom, all prosperity means earth also giving them lot of foods and jewels and oils and all these things.
Yes, Sarva Kama Dubhamahi. Yes, correct. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Swami Mataji, yes, boli.
Prabhuji, I feel the problem is that in the Vedic culture, the people knew that the goal was to satisfy the Supreme Lord, and that essence is missing in the modern, society. They want short-term goals, and for that they are doing, uh, how the however the things come, they are doing that.
Okay, short term goals they are doing, and they used to satisfy the Lord in Vedic times. Yes, good. Yes, Braj Gopinath Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji. Brajpati Gopinath. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, there is an example of like the seed. We have to sow the sweet seed, and the soil should be fertile, and the rain should come like that. The efforts, if you made the efforts, and Lord give the rains like that, without the satisfaction of the Lord through demigods like Indra gives the rains. Of Krishna, like that we if even though you effort so many efforts also without rains there is no use like that in any of our efforts should be there, and it should be accompanied by the Lord's mercy in the form of demigods like different
Here you made a point. Yes, here you made a point. Very important point. Our effort should be to access the mercy. You just see the whole purpose beginning with this thing: work hard and enjoy sense gratification. What is this? There is no connection of God. Work hard and enjoy senses. Everything is horizontal in this world only. No connection to vertical. Work hard and enjoy. But this is not correct only. Now people are working hard and enjoying, trying to enjoy, but he's mentioned you work hard to please God and he will arrange for your enjoyment. You work hard to please God, he will arrange for your enjoyment. But what is happening? We are working hard to please our boss. We are working hard to please our prime minister, or we are working hard to please our people in this world. There is no God in connection. No God. So he's mentioned the prosperity of the world depends not on our own effort, but on the background arrangement. And who will do background arrangement and how he will do unless we do yagya. We have to do, so background arrangement has to be there. Like see, how many people basically when they glorify nature, how many people glorify the city life? कि सिटी लाइफ का पिक्चर खींच के भेजते, कोई नहीं भेजता है. वो सब जाते कहाँ पे, हिमालय का फोटो खींचते हैं, या जहाँ पे एकदम उत्तरांचल, वहाँ पे अच्छे ग्रीनरीज हैं, पेड़ पौधे हैं, वहाँ का क्यों खींचते फोटो? जब आपने जो सिविलाइजेशन बना उसका क्यों नहीं फोटो खींचो? जाओ खींचो उसका. तो दे क्लिक अ फोटो ऑफ अ नेचर विच इज वेरी ब्यूटीफुल. यस, so that is a background arrangement. Yes, so any photos which are inspiring, like photos, pictures, whatever, which are those pictures? Which are the pictures which include some culture, some kinds of sovereignty, some kind of opulence? Big number of cows, happy cows, they are running in the field and they are putting their tails up and they are running off like that. So why we click such pictures? Because that is natural prosperity. Means background arrangement. That is not done by me, not done by the people, that is done by the God. So endeavor should not be to enjoy senses but to satisfy him, and he will give you the items to satisfy our senses. This is the process. This is called chakram. ये चक्र की बात हो रही है. अभी क्या हो रहा है? वर्क हार्ड. सो वर्क हार्ड टू प्लीज गॉड एंड द गॉड विल प्लीज यू. Not work hard to enjoy senses directly. No. First please God, then he will provide you. This is a thing. actually. Even though somebody is desiring sense gratification, no problem. First work to please him, then he will down. ऐसा होता है. So we have removed him only. We don't know about. Science never teaches about demigods. They only teach about मैं और तुम. बस मेरे को क्या चाहिए, मेरे को ये चाहिए, इधर काम करके पैसा कमाना है तो मैं उसके लिए काम करूँगा. But direct thing. Because science, they don't have this divine knowledge. They don't have the knowledge of higher dimensions. They only think about them. Now just see, the scientist ISRO, these people want to go to moon. How many ISRO scientists performed yagya for the moon god? कितने लोगों ने बुद्धू ने, वो सभी बुद्धू कितने लोगों ने यज्ञ परफॉर्म किया उनके लिए? Now if you want rain, you have to perform yagya for Indra. Yes, if you want to go also to that place, you have to perform yagya for Indra. इंद्रलोक में जाना है तो कितने लोगों ने यज्ञ परफॉर्म किया चंद्रलोक जाने के लिए? नहीं किया. ये सिखा रहे हमको. So this is Prabhupada is saying, this is a Mammonist philosophy. बस यही है. तो ये एथीज्म है एक्चुअली. ये सब गीता से नहीं लिया गया. ये सब पूरा सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन का इनका प्लान है बस. और जब तक ये लोग पढ़ाएंगे ये सब पूरा नाश सत्यानाश होता रहेगा. Therefore don't think too much that, oh my children, if you don't study in outside school, what they will learn. If they eat prasadam also na, and they will learn even some better some language, some science to Prabhupada never says to learn only, because there is not a science only. Some bhugol, geography, and some language they learn, that much is enough for them. It's only a big propaganda. They are teaching atheism only. वो atheism को धोने के लिए फिर बाद में ज़्यादा समय लगता है. अगर लड़कियों को अच्छा एजुकेशन दिया गया, सिंपल एजुकेशन में दिया गया, तो एटलीस्ट वो गलत काम तो नहीं करेंगे आगे जाके. हम इतना पैसा डाल के भी कोई फायदा नहीं है. क्या सब गलत सीख के आ रहे हैं? तो एक्चुअली देयर हैड टू बी क्वाइट conscious living has to be there in modern times. Otherwise, many times unconsciously we are just throwing away money, and then everything is becoming spoiled after throwing money also. क्योंकि पाप का पैसा है और पाप में जा रहा है. इन पापियों के लिए काम कर करके पाप का ही पैसा हो जाता है वो. So unless they read Bhagavad Gita, they will not utilize money for yagya. And then if money is not utilized for yagya, money is not purified, and then that unpurified money will create disaster in everyone's life. So slowly the food which we are eating, that food should come from yagya. Again, the cow milk, the cow also should eat from the grass which she is eating. That should also come from yagya. So everything should come from yagya. Yagya sishta. Then that whole thing will be purified. That is called God conscious life. We should never forget that our ancestors were saintly people, and so our civilization is saintly or brahmanical. We should never forget. Where we see the gotra, कौन सा गोत्र है? वशिष्ठ गोत्र है, गौतम मुनि गोत्र है. ये सब क्या गोत्र मतलब क्या है? हमारे जो ancestors है कौन से? Saintly people है हमारे ancestors. Yes. So our whole culture is saintly actually, or brahmanical. The cycle is as okay. So cycle is done, and we'll go ahead. Now we'll read. Yes, सनातन गोपाल प्रभु है क्या? हाँ, you are there. Okay. यस्त्व आत्मा रतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्ये एव च सन्तुष्टस्तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते.
But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty.
So from this section onward till 35. So now Lord is going to tell Niskam Karma Yoga to set the right example. So till now what we understood, first section, first two shloka, Arjuna was questioning, he was in confusion. Renunciation is better or action is better. So Krishna says that actually both paths are there, but Gyan Yoga path is, many times pretenders they take to this Gyan Yoga path without purification of heart, and so that is not very successful path. But both paths are okay. But for you, Karma Yoga is important. And you should do karma to please Vishnu. That is last shloka, 3.9. Yagnarthat karmano nitra lokoyam karma bandhana. Try to satisfy Vishnu through your work, and then you will be freed from karma bandhan. Mukta Sangha Samachara. Then 10 to 16 shloka on what we learned, karma kanda to karma. Now karma kanda we learned. Yes, if somebody had desire also to be fulfilled from his karma, he want to enjoy some result also, then he should do yagya. Do demigod yagya, no issue. Karma kanda karo. And at last Krishna brings him to karma yoga. Means in the previous shloka, here Srila Prabhupada, previous shloka, he says that if somebody has, even though not followed the Vedic injunctions, they can directly adopt the Krishna conscious path. So basically in this, you can say the lenience has been given in this 10 to 16, that even somebody had desire, you can worship demigods and do yagya and fulfill your desires, but never try to enjoy directly. And this is Mammonist philosophy. Don't try to enjoy directly. Enjoy through certain authority. God authority should be there. There were people used to always ask the saintly people or the brahmanas, oh मेरे हाथ में क्या लिखा है, अभी मैं क्या आगे करने वाला हूँ. हर एक चीज़ पूछते थे पहले लोग, अभी कुछ पूछता ही नहीं है. बताने वाले भी कम है और पूछने वाले भी नहीं है कोई. तो उसका ट्रेनिंग देना चाहिए. दिस इज ट्रेनिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड. So now we are going to learn ahead how Niskam Karma Yoga has to be done to set a right example. Now Krishna in beginning of this sloka will tell a person who is self-satisfied, he has no work to do. And then he gives an example later of Janak Maharaj. He was also self-satisfied, but still he did the work just to set an example. So Arjuna can question na, Krishna, you told us that if I have certain desire, I should worship demigod. I don't have any desire. Okay. So now can I go now? I should not do any work. Now again he is emphasizing, even though you have no desire for working, no desire for getting the result also, still you should work. Why? To set a right example in the society. So this section will tell Niskam Karma Yoga should be done to set right example. It's basically for preaching also. So he says, one who takes pleasure in the self. What is that? Atmarati. Atmarati means Atma mein usko pleasure aa raha hai. Atma triptas. He is satisfied in Atma. Atmanya eva santushtah. He is santusht in Atma. Tasya karyam na vidyate. For that person no karya. तो जिस जो कि आत्मा में ही आनंद ले रहा है, उसको बाहरी शरीर से कोई मतलब ही नहीं है, आत्मा में तृप्त है, आत्मा में संतुष्ट है, तो वो उसके लिए कोई कार्य है ही नहीं. यानी कार्य किसके लिए? जो आत्मा में उसका कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं, मतलब ही इज नॉट लिविंग लाइक अ आत्मा. बेसिकली ही हैज एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड टू लिव. हिज सेटिस्फैक्शन डिपेंड्स ऑन एक्सटर्नल एक्विजिशंस, एक्सटर्नल नेम, फेम, प्रेस्टीज एंड देन नेसेसिटीज. So for him work is there. Work means he has to do yagya to please the demigods. And the person who is not, who does not want anything, बस उसके लिए कोई यज्ञ नहीं, वो अपने आप यज्ञ कर रहा है, वो आत्मा में संतुष्ट है, बस उसको कोई जरूरत नहीं है संसार में, उसके लिए कोई वर्क ही नहीं है. नो प्रिस्क्राइब ड्यूटी फॉर हिम. A person who is fully Krishna conscious and fully satisfied by his acts in Krishna consciousness no longer has any duty to perform due to being Krishna conscious. All impiety within is instantly cleansed, an effect of many thousands of yagya performance. So by performing so many yagyas, one gets so much piety that he can finish off all his impurity or impiety. But by being Krishna consciousness, he can immediately be free from all kinds of impiety. So he has no work to perform. His duty thus becomes illuminated by the grace of the Lord, and he therefore no longer has any obligation to the Vedic injunctions. So basically those who are Paramhansas, they have no duty. And they don't take pleasure in arrangement like all this. So this is a important thing. नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो न कृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिद् अर्थव्यपाश्रयः.
A a self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living beings.
Just see what we learned. Panch Mahayagya. 5 people we have to satisfy: Pitras, Devas, sages, human beings and other living entities. 5 लोग. यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है, किस कोई ऑब्लिगेशन नहीं उसका. It means all obligation comes through this body. This body has necessity to perform, and then we are bound with the karma bandhana. Because this is only karma bandhana, means you have to live, and so you have to do karma, and you have to get the reaction. And therefore Krishna says, try to do work to please God so that you don't become affected by reaction. And ultimately you go inside, become self. You live like a self. So when this person is there, is mentioned, there is no prescribed duty, and he is not obligated to any living entity, no dependence on any living entity. उसका डेट ही नहीं है, खत्म उसका डेट, सारा उसका डेट खत्म हो गया, ऋण खत्म हो गया, कोई ऋण नहीं है उसका, ना माँ बाप के का ऋण है, ना उसको भगवान का ऋण है, किसी का ऋण नहीं है, वो अपने में सेल्फ सिचुएटेड पर्सन. No purpose to fulfill in discharge for his prescribed duty. He has no purpose. कोई पर्पज नहीं है उसका. No reason also. So this is yeah. So a self-realized man is no longer obliged to perform any prescribed duty, save and except activities in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not in activity either, as will be explained in the following verses. A Krishna conscious man does not take shelter of any person, man or demigod. Whatever he does in Krishna consciousness is sufficient in discharge of his obligation. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, Krishna conscious person, self-realized means he has come to know that he is Krishna's servant, so he is doing the spiritual duties. Because duties cannot be stopped at one sense. Means material duties are not there, then spiritual duties will be there. Like that. So, by performance of action, there is no accrual of desired result, and by not performing the action, there is no loss. Because nothing in this whole universe, from Brahma down to the inanimate object, is a worthy object of shelter for the fulfilling his goal. Okay, go ahead. तस्माद् असक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो हे आचरन् कर्म परम आपनोति पुरुषः.
Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty. For by working without attachment, one attains the supreme.
असक्ता असक्त सततम, तस्माद असक्तः सततम, हमेशा के लिए असक्त होके कार्य करो. कार्यम कर्म समाचरम. असक्त मतलब विदाउट अटैचमेंट वी शुड वर्क. विदाउट अटैचमेंट वी शुड वर्क. सततम, ऑलवेज. असक्तो हि आचरण कर्म परम आपनोति पुरुष. नाउ दिस पर्सन who is Atma Tripta, who is Atmarati, this person, Atma Tripta, Atmarati, this person does not have any obligation, no debt for anyone, no duty. Okay? So he is fully satisfied in self. Now Krishna is saying how you can be satisfied. You also do the work as a matter of duty. Don't become attached to result. Don't become attached to result. Just do the duty. So he is talking about the person who has no duty only, and he is talking about a person who is in this world and who has this body and who is not fully self-realized. But then he is telling the way how to become self-realized. Don't do activity with attachment. Without attachment, do the activity. Tasmad asakta satatam. Always become asakta. Karyam karma samacharam. Perform your activity without attachment to result. Asakto hi acharan karma param apnoti purusha. By doing such activity, you will achieve purusha. You will achieve Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now, a person therefore acting for Krishna or in Krishna consciousness under proper guidance and without attachment to the result of work is certainly making progress towards the supreme goal of life. Just see what I mentioned. Proper guidance is working without attachment to the result. He is making progress towards Supreme Lord. Arjuna is told that he should fight in battlefield for the interest of Krishna because Krishna wanted him to fight. To be a good man or non-violent man is a personal attachment, but to act on behalf of Supreme is to act without attachment for the result. That is a perfect action of the highest degree, recommended by Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when we directly get instruction from Krishna or a spiritual master and just execute that instruction, it itself a activity without desiring for the result. It's itself an activity without desiring for result. If like Prabhupada says, okay, count the cement bag, okay, count the stones which we have brought or bricks which we have brought for making temple, then the person may think, okay, I am counting. Now these persons are taking away some bricks. They are hiding. These laborers are hiding some bricks or they are not doing their work. So if he chastises them and says, hey, work properly. This is my Guru's temple. Temple should come within this time. You should make temple properly. Then the other person may say, hey, how this sadhu is saying like this? He should not be attached to temple. No. He is following the order of a spiritual master. He is not attached. So this is not attachment. What Krishna says here, he is not attached. He is following under proper guidance. So just simply acting. He is simply acting. So his guru also wants that temple should come, nobody should cheat, nobody should simply take money and not work. So therefore he has to tell that person, work properly. And so that the temple should come. So then that is not working with attachment. So best thing is this only, that we should work under direction. So then we don't have our own personal agenda. We try to follow Guru Sadhu Shastra. Ultimately Krishna. Karmaneva hi samsiddhim astita janaka adaya loka sangraham evapi samaspyan kartum arhasi samapasyam. Yes.
Kings such as Janak attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work.
Yes, this is important. So even he gives the example of Janak Maharaj, who was self-realized person. But even he was also doing the duty. Why? For the sake of educating people. Yeah, we'll understand more. Krishna will speak about it further also. So this Janaki is who? Father of Mother Sita. Father-in-law of Lord Ram. They were all self-realized souls. There's no obligation to perform, but still they performed because they wanted to set an example for the common people. The Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the Lord, eternal friend, has no need to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but they fought to teach people in general that violence is also necessary in situations where good arguments fail. So Prabhupada is saying even Arjuna need not to be fighting, but he has to fight because Lord wants him. And why Lord wants him? To teach that violence is also required when good argument fail. Before battle of Kurukshetra, every effort was made to avoid the war, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but other party were determined to fight. So for such a right cause, there is necessity for fighting. Although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in the world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. Experienced person in Krishna consciousness can act in such a way that others will follow, and this is explained in the following verse. So that is why, okay, we will go ahead and we'll discuss more. It's spoken in further verses more. In this verse, Lord gives the proof of acting according to duty, becoming pure in the heart by means of prescribed action. Karmana eva. Janaka and others attained asthita, the perfection of seeing their own Atma, samsiddhim, The word eva and karmana used to make distinction indicating its excellence rather than indicating complete separateness. Okay, we'll go ahead. यद यद आचरति श्रेष्ठस्तत्तद् एवेतरो जना स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तद् अनुवर्तते.
Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues.
This is very important. Whatever the great man performs, common men follow. So it means great men are required in this world. Otherwise, common men will never become great. They will always remain lowly only. So sometimes in Kali Yuga is more inspired that okay, you take initiative, you do, तुम भी करो, तुम भी करो, तुम भी करो. कितने लोग करेंगे? अब जैसे कुएं को भरना है तो एक एक बकेट लेके आ, सब लोग भरो, कितने दिन लग जाएंगे भरते भरते. लेकिन एक होज पाइप आएगा ना बड़ा सा, तुरंत भरेगा. क्यों? So therefore, Prabhupada, one time he mentions in one lecture, unless good king comes, you forget all prosperity and happiness in this world. Because good king can change the whole world situation very quickly. Or good leaders. And what we are doing chitpitiya, like we are some simply firecracker, so either for that. But actually the real change should be making a good leaders who can really change the thought process of people, the lifestyle of people, the education of the whole human society. These big leaders are important. So here is mentioned, whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And if common men are following, nobody get inspired. Well, you are a common man, why I should get inspired from you? Great man should follow. Yes, this is important. So because great men are very few or not there only, all are engaged in sense gratification. So where there is a might, where there is a might, there is a right. Everything becomes right. So there is no hold of Krishna consciousness on governments or on education. So therefore we cannot change much. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकते. बिकॉज हमारा होल्ड ही नहीं है गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर, हमारा होल्ड ही नहीं है नॉलेज के ऊपर, पैसे के ऊपर भी होल्ड नहीं है, किसी के ऊपर होल्ड नहीं है. सो इफ देयर इज नो होल्ड, नोबडी विल लिसन टू यू एंड दे विल फॉलो होम, दे विल फॉलो अमिताभ बच्चन और शाहरुख खान और हीरोइन और अभी नए नए जो भी लोग आ रहे हैं, पता नहीं अभी कौन आ रहा है, बिकॉज उनके पास पैसा है, बिजनेसमैन है वो लोग. Yeah, they will follow some babas who have many followers or speculators. So ऐसे follow, because so great man performs, common man follows. Nowadays what is happening, what others are doing, we are trying to learn from them and we are trying to be like them, and then we want to inspire them. That is not very good. A great man should not learn from the lowly person and then try to change his clothes and say this, see, I am also the same like you, now you learn Krishna conscious from me. He will never learn, he will go away. He will get some inspiration. Great man is required. The great man performs, common man follows. And great man, how to become great man again? So the great man should need some empowerment. He should have, like I mentioned, some governments he should have, some politics he should have, some education field he should have. So he requires empowerment actually. And that great man, surely he comes from the right progeny, right birth, right sanskaras, right training. Then great man comes. So important. इसलिए प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं, unless good king comes, forget. So people in the general always require a leader who can teach the public by practical behavior. Just see, always require a leader. A leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself is smoking. Everybody is smoking. So how can others stop? So Lord Chaitanya said the teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. He is called Acharya, ideal teacher. Therefore, a teacher must follow the principle of Shastra to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scripture. The revealed scriptures like Manu Samhita and similar other are considered a standard book to be followed by human society. Thus, the leader's teaching should be based on the principle of such standard Shastras. One who desires to improve himself must follow the standard rules as they are practiced by the great teachers. The Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees, and that is the way to progress on the path of spiritual realization. The king or the executive head of the state, the father, and the school teachers are all considered to be the natural leaders of the innocent people in general. Who are those? King, executive heads, father, and school teacher. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. Therefore, they must be conversant with the standard books of moral and spiritual codes. So clearly mentioned. The school teacher also mentioned. School teacher जो है, and a father also mentioned. So they have to be their natural leader. It means they must be conversant with the scripture, standard books of moral codes and spiritual codes. And especially the king, because the king, he is a main person who makes a law and then everybody has to follow. So naturally people will take the reference from the king. Oh, see, king is following. See, king said that shloka that day. So therefore we have to follow that shloka. So we need a person who is practicing and who is a great person, who is a leader. And by seeing him, people automatically orient their life actually. अपने आप orient कर लेते हैं life को. Actually, तो ऐसा होना चाहिए. So that person is required actually. Then otherwise majority mass conversion to religion will not happen. There has to be certain religious leader who has certain power in governments, in education. Then only it changes actually. Without becoming leader, does not happen. Then we are simply putting some firecrackers. इधर फोड़ेंगे बस. नमे पार्थ अस्ति कर्तव्यम त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नाना अवाप्तव्यम वर्त एव च कर्मणि.
O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties.
So Lord is saying about himself, there is no prescribed duty even for him also. But still, he is engaged in prescribed duty again for the same reason. He wants to set example. Tam ishwaranam paramam maheshwaram tam daivatanam paramam cha daivatam patim patinam paramam parastad vidama devam bhuvanesham idyam na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate na tat samascha vidikascha drishyate parasya saktir vivadaiva sruyate swabhaviki jnana balakriya cha. These are the mantras from the Upanishad. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. He is the controller of all controller. Tam Daivatanam Paramam Cha Daivatam. He is the greatest of all the leaders, all the planetary leaders, or the demigods. Patim Patinam. And again, he is a controller. Pati means controller. Everyone is under his control. Paramam Parastad. All the entities are delegated with particular power by the Supreme Lord. Vidama Devam Bhuvanesham Idyam. Idyam means he is always worshipped. They are not the Supreme themselves. He is also worshipped by all the demigods. So Bhuvanesham means Bhuvan ka Ish hai kaun? Bhagwan. And he is worshipped by all the Devas. Idyam means worshipable. So he is a Bhuvana Isham and he is worshipped by all the Devas. Natasya Karyam. Now this mentions कि for that supreme person there is no कार्य mentioned. कोई कार्य है ही नहीं भगवान के लिए. करणम च विद्यते. कोई कार्य उनके लिए करने के लिए है ही नहीं. ये समझ लो पहले. न तत् समश्चा अविदिकश्च दृश्यते. Nobody is equal to, samas means equal to that Lord, and nobody is greater than him. Adhika. उनसे अधिक भी कोई नहीं है। न दृश्यते, कोई दिखने वाला ऐसा व्यक्ति है ही नहीं जो उनके बराबर हो या उनसे ऊपर हो। पराश शक्ति विविधैव श्रूयते, दैट लॉर्ड हैज मेनी मेनी मल्टीफेरस एनर्जी, मेनी मेनी एनर्जीज। विविधैव श्रूयते, ऐसा सुना है। स्वभाव की ज्ञान बल क्रिया च, ये केवल भगवान के सोचने मात्र से एनर्जी काम करती है। स्वाभाविक रूप, भगवान ने सोचा यहाँ पे क्रिएशन हो जाए, अपने आप क्रिएशन हो जाएगा। ये जाके उनके पीछे नहीं पड़ना है माया के, अरे ये टाइम पे मैंने बोला तो तुमने काम क्यों नहीं किया। नहीं, जब सोचने मात्र से क्रिएशन हो जाता है। तो ज्ञान बल क्रिया, दीज आर द एनर्जीज एक्चुअली। ज्ञान एनर्जी, ज्ञान शक्ति, बल शक्ति, क्रिया शक्ति, मीन्स लाइक दैट। देयर इज नो cause greater than him. So like that is the Upanishad, Svetasvatal Upanishad mentions. So Lord has no activity to do, but still he is doing just to set an example. And yet Lord Krishna is engaged in battlefield of Kurukshetra as a leader of the Kshatriyas, because the Kshatriyas are duty bound to give protection to the distressed. Although he is above the regulations of revealed scripture, he does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. So Krishna is setting an example of a Kshatriya, because Kshatriyas have to protect. So therefore, many times when even Lord Ram also comes, he comes as a Kshatriya, because Kshatriya are responsible for establishing dharma. So Brahmanas, they know the dharma, but they cannot establish dharma. They need some power to establish dharma, and that is done by Kshatriyas. So Kshatriyas make sure that Brahmana, surely they don't jump on Brahmanas. Basically, they respect Brahmana, but still the regulations are there. कि Brahmana should do their duty, Kshatriya should do their duty, Vaishya should do their duty. So they keep on doing checkings, vigilance in the society, that who is not doing duty, then he has to be punished. So this is all done by Kshatriyas. यदि हयहम न वर्तेयम जातो कर्मण्य अतीन्द्रिय अंत अतंद्रिता मम वर्तमानो वर्तन्ते मनुष्यः पार्थ सर्वशः. Yes.
For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path.
So Krishna is saying कि मम वर्तमानो वर्तन्ते मनुष्य पार्थ सर्वशः. If I do not follow, then people will follow me, because I am a leader. So in order to keep the balance of social tranquility for progress in the spiritual life, there are traditional families uses meant for every civilized man. Although such rules and regulations are for the conditioned soul, not for the Lord, because he descended to establish the principle of dharma, he followed the prescribed rules. Otherwise, common man would follow in his footsteps, because he is the greatest authority. So whenever Krishna also, even though he had 16,108 queens, so he used to wake up early in the morning, and immediately he used to then sit for meditation, and then he used to take the bath, and then he used to get ready, and then he used to perform sacrifices or charity to different brahmanas. Sacrifice means offering oblations to Agni or spiritual master, like that. So there has to be culture made in homes. Like one culture is very simple. When somebody gets up, again one has to cleanse one's body, everything become fresh, and then after that one should offer obeisances. So children should be taught that they should offer obeisances to God in altar. So after cleaning up oneself, then offer obeisances to God, and then while going for job or for schools, they should again offer obeisances to God and go to their schools and then job. So then we should understand that, like in temple, when we come, we offer obeisances to Lord. Whenever we leave the temple, again we offer and go back. So basically we are saying to the Lord that please protect me, I am going out, because you are here, and whenever I am here I am protected, but when I am going out, please protect me. So we take permission from him. So this culture has to be there. So when this culture is established, slowly children also start offering obeisances to their parents also, because they are offering obeisances to God. Then even parents' obeisances also should be introduced. So this was the culture in previous time. The children used to offer, even the great people also used to offer obeisances to God, spiritual master, and then their elders. This was the system. So here it's mentioned there are certain traditional family uses, systems are there which are meant for uh, the conditioned soul to get freed from this basically conditionings. उत्सीदेयुर इमे लोका न कुर्याम कर्म चेदहम संकरस्य च कर्तास्याम उपहन्याम इमा प्रजा.
If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings.
Just see. Now here is coming Sankarasya. Again, unwanted population. No training on culture, no training in संस्कारास, कुछ ट्रेनिंग है ही नहीं. सो बिकॉज सुपीरियर्स फॉलो नहीं कर रहे तो नीचे वाले भी नहीं करेंगे. तो यहाँ बता रहे कि लीडर हैज टू फॉलो. बाय सीइंग द लीडर्स, कृष्णा इज द लीडर हियर, बाय सीइंग द लीडर्स others will follow. So he mentioned Varna Shankara or is unwanted population which disturb the peace of general society. In order to check the social disturbance, there are prescribed rules and regulations by which the population can automatically become peaceful and organized for spiritual progress in life. For spiritual progress, some rules and regulations are required which would not create social disturbance, that will keep peace in the society. When Lord Krishna descends, naturally he deals with such rules and regulations in order to maintain the prestige and necessity of such important performance. The Lord is the father of all living entities, and if the living entities are misguided indirectly, the responsibility goes to the Lord. Therefore, whenever there is a general disregard of regulatory principles, the Lord himself descends to correct the society. We should, however, note carefully that although we have to follow the footstep of the Lord, we still have to remember that we cannot imitate him. Following them or imitating are not on the same level. So basically, Govardhan pastime, lifting, we cannot do. So we have to follow, not imitating. Srimad Bhagavatam says one should simply follow the instruction of the Lord and his empowered servants. Their instructions are all good for us, and any intelligent person will perform them as instructed. However, one should guard against trying to imitate their actions. One should not try to drink ocean of poison in imitation of Lord Shiva. So we should always consider the position of Ishvara and those who can actually control the movement of the sun or the moon as superior. Without such power, one cannot imitate the Ishvara, which are super powerful. Lord Shiva drank poison to the extent of swallowing an ocean. But if any common man tries to drink even a fragment of such poison, he will be killed. There are many pseudo devotees of Lord Shiva who wants to indulge in smoking, ganja, and similar intoxicating drugs, forgetting that by so imitating the acts of Lord Shiva, they are calling death very near. Similarly, there are so many pseudo devotees of Lord Krishna who prefer to imitate the Lord in rasa dance or lifting Govardhan. It is best, forgetting their inability to lift Govardhan. It is best, therefore, that one should not try to imitate the powerful, but simply follow their instructions. Nor should one try to occupy their post without qualification. There are so many incarnations of God without power of God. So here, those who are false imitators, pseudo devotees of Lord Shiva, pseudo devotee of Lord Krishna are also mentioned. The basic thing here is Prabhupada begins with the Varna Shankar and it then goes to the imitation. So Varna Shankar should not be there. So Varna Shankar means a person who does not know is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. He is not in Varnashrama. He is a Shankar. उसका वर्ण ही कंफ्यूजन में है, कौन सा वर्ण है वो. जैसे कोई व्यक्ति अगर कोई जॉब नहीं करता तो क्या बोलते हैं, लापरवाह बोलते हैं, है ना. इज अ लापरवाह. ही डज नॉट नो, he does not study his books, he does not do any job, so he is a laparvah. In the similar way, Varna Shankar means there is no Varna can be given to him, whether he is working like a Brahmana, Kshatriya, we do not know. He is a Varna Shankar, unwanted population. And then such people, because they have no proper activity to do, they cannot do any cultural activity, because culture is associated with your activity. What do you mean by culture? Culture means simply do your activity, that is culture. If a Brahmana does his activity, that is culture. He is doing his activity properly, that is culture. but he does not know only he is a Brahmana, then what is the culture? So all Brahmana do their activity, that is culture. So in that activity, worship of Lord is already there. So therefore that is culture. But nobody knows what is their duty. So there's so much issue about culture. What is the culture? So first know about the duty, then culture is automatically known. Okay. Sakta कर्मणि अविद्वांसो यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वांस तथा आसक्तस् चिकीर्षुर्लोक संग्रमः. Yes.
As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path.
This is that sloka we are waiting for. So that is why even the learned people should act, because anyway in this world activity is going to happen. So learned people should act to create an ideal example, to teach people how they should be doing the activity, because there is a lot of confusion actually in this world. Now Gandhiji, he said, and what he said, ahimsa करो, कोई भी अंग्रेज थप्पड़ मारे दूसरा भी गाल कर देना. So he is not teaching the right dharma. So there is a lot of concoction in the world, how to behave properly, how to respond properly. What is the duty of sadhu? What is the duty of brahman? What is the duty of kshatriya? Everybody, सबका duty अलग होता है. सबका duty अलग होता है. So there is a need of a leader in every field who can teach how to become a nice merchant, how to become a nice king, how to become a nice brahman. So then by seeing him, others will follow. If you mix everybody like a classless society, and then one person does something, by seeing him, everybody, hurry, we should do like this, okay, we should do like this. But then it will not be comfortable for all the people to follow that. So that is why the leaders were chosen in their varnas, actually. So it's mentioned learned man should act without attachment, and he should teach the down people that how they should act. There has to be regulations, rules, regulations for each section of society, and they should also know how to follow, like that. So it's mentioned, for the sake of leading people on the right path. A person in Krishna consciousness and a person not in Krishna consciousness are differentiated by different desires. A Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not conducive to the development of Krishna consciousness. He may even act exactly like an ignorant person, which is too much attached to material activity, but one who is engaged in such activity for satisfaction of his sense gratification, whereas other is engaged for satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna conscious person is required to show the people how to act, how to engage in the result of action for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. There are people attached outside, and there are devotees also attached. So now, but devotees attachment, how they are attached? They are attached for certain region, for certain time, and then they will show detachment. So when the outside people say, Ari, you are also attached and you are still doing Krishna Bhakti, is it possible to do both? So then that, by seeing that example, yes, they can learn. Yes, even somebody is attached also, but he is doing Krishna Bhakti. But that attachment is important to show affection. That is not real attachment. That is a attachment, basically it's apparent. It's apparent that it's attachment, but it's not attachment. Because he is Krishna conscious person, his attachments are just for time being. He's just showing it to set example. How to live as a nice family man, how to live as a nice brahmachari, how to live as a nice sannyasi, everything. Sometimes sannyasis may look like Prabhupada used to say, give more money. So Prabhupada ka ek photo khicha gaya. Prabhupada was saying, I will embrace all the money, like that. Like some Mayavadis, they were saying, no, don't bring any money in front of me. Prabhupada said, you click photo of him like this and click my photo like this. I want to embrace all money. Because he want to make temple. So Prabhupada is teaching, okay, I am attached to money for Krishna's sake. But it's apparent attachment, it's not a real attachment. So it looks like that. So then it's a teaching in the world that how one should act. One should act for Krishna. Whatever his duty is, connect that duty to Krishna. Live for Krishna. Like that. So then all attachments are devoted in devotional service. So therefore, right examples setters are required in every field of life. Then one gets a good guidance. So this is one example which Prabhupada is given. Now, like now, nice brahmanas are there. If they're performing their duty nicely, so then other people who are brahmanas, they also get inspired. Nice kshatriyas, nice brahmanas. So we have an example of Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arjuna. So by seeing Prithu Maharaj, Privat Maharaj, Yayati Maharaj, so big kings. So by seeing their examples, then people can follow. Though you are established in the knowledge as Paranishtita Bhakta, perform your duties according to the Vedas for the benefit of people. That is the import of this verse. Just as ignorant people perform actions with a desire for result, Sakta, those who are in knowledge perform same actions but without the desire for result, Asakta. So Sakta and Asakta, this word is used. Saktaha, this is Sakta and Asakta. कुर्याद विद्वांस तथा आसक्तस मीन्स विद्वांस जो ज्ञानी लोग होते हैं, लर्नेड लोग, हाउ दे वर्क, आसक्ता, दे आर नॉट अटैच्ड, विदाउट अटैचमेंट. एंड सक्ता कर्मणि अविद्वांसो, दोज हु आर नॉट लर्नेड पीपल, they are attached to karma, or their karmani means karma phala. Basically here karmani means karma phala. So they work with asakti, with attachment. Who? Abhidvams. And who is a vidvams, who is a learned man, he does not work with asakti, like that. So this verse says that. Okay, now this is a sloka 26th. So we'll stop here. Any question? कोई क्वेश्चन है किसी को? No question? Okay, we'll end here.
खाली करायचं का?
Yes. कोई क्वेश्चन है किसी को? नहीं? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So next weekend again we will reconvene and continue our discussion. So this is sloka number 25th we have completed. 26th onward we will do. I'm ending the meeting.